Hi people, breaking news flash. Just giving you up-to-date news on what this big announcement could have potentially been today. I think this might have been it because this is massive. Shitcoin'ers might be wanting something that's going to affect the price, but the value of this for Bitcoin, which is BSV, the genuine Bitcoin, is absolutely massive because it is literally going to smash the facade that all these shitcoin projects spin about their centralized projects being decentralized, which we all know is an absolute load of cock and bull. And this is going to expose it. This is massive for them. So it says here, Craig Wright begins landmark legal action to retrieve stolen coins. All right, here we go. So Dr. Wright has begun legal action against the developers of BTC, BCH, BCH-ABC and BSV over 100,111 stolen Bitcoin, according to an announcement by Ontario, which we'll try and find in a minute. The Bitcoin was lost when the private keys to 2 addresses were stolen in a hack on Dr. Wright's network in February of 2020. In June, Dr. Wright sent letters informing the BTC and other developers of the theft and of their responsibility to avoid illegitimate transactions being entered into on the blockchain. Now Dr. Wright has taken the next step to get his coins back. His lawyers have sent formal letters before action to the developers of BTC, BCH, BCH-ABC and BSV. In a press release from Ontario, we'll look at that in a second, the lawyers advising Dr. Wright in his various legal actions, they announced the groundbreaking legal proceedings on behalf of Tulip Trading Limited, a Seychelles company primarily owned by Dr. Wright. The release says, the action will for the first time examine the nature and extent of legal duties conferred upon and owned by developers resulting from the control they exercise over their respective blockchains. The letters request that the developers enable Tulip Trading to regain access to the Bitcoin on the grounds that they owe the owners of Bitcoin legal duties under English law due to the high level of power and control they exercise over their blockchains. The press release says they will be arguing for both tortious and fiduciary duties. A tortious duty is typically one associated with cases of negligence, which requires a claimant to prove that the defendant owed them a duty of care in carrying out acts which could reasonably be foreseen to cause harm. A fiduciary duty is stricter still and imposes on those who have undertaken to act on behalf of others in a way which creates a relationship of trust and confidence. According to the press release, the value of the claim today is over £3.5 billion. So that's in excess of $4 billion. Not an amount to be sniffed at. Quote here, as a victim of theft of some serious magnitude, Tulip Trading is seeking recovery of its assets and control of its digital assets from those in a position to remedy its loss. The fact that someone has stolen Tulip Trading's digitally held private Bitcoin keys does not prevent developers from deploying code to enable the rightful owner to regain control of its Bitcoin. Dr. Wright is one of many people who have lost control of their digital assets as a result of hacks such as the one which took place in February. The law already prohibits knowingly dealing in or otherwise assisting with the misappropriation of stolen goods. So it would be surprising if the law would refuse to step in on established grounds, tortious and fiduciary duties, purely because the property in question is stored on a blockchain. It also does not seem a satisfactory state of affairs if blockchain developers, whose activities determine and influence the behavior of every person who are trusting that blockchain is being administered in good faith and with care, are exempt from well-established fiduciary duties which are enforced in similar circumstances. The case should give much needed clarity on this point and hopefully provide additional protection for the many people relying on the competence and good faith of blockchain developers. And as we know, these blockchain developers of these shitcoin projects do not have good faith. So let's have a look at this. The press release from Ontario. Here we go. See the February 24th. Yeah, here we go. Ontario initiates legal action on behalf of Dr. Craig Wright to recover $3.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. Claim will have significant impact for others, users, and the way Bitcoin operates. Wow. All right. Quick look at here then. Litigation law firm Ontario LLP has today begun groundbreaking legal proceedings against a number of Bitcoin developers on behalf of Tulip Trading Limited, a Seychelles company whose primarily beneficiary owner is Dr. Craig Wright. Dr. Craig Wright is the inventor of Bitcoin, who sets out his vision for the digital currency in his famous white paper under the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. The defendants in this action are the developers for BTC, BCH, BCH-ABC, and BSV. The action will, for the first time, examine the nature and extent of legal duties conferred upon and owned by developers resulting from the control they exercise over their respective blockchains. In February 2020, Dr. Wright's personal computer was hacked by persons unknown and encrypted private keys to 2 addresses which hold substantial quantities of Bitcoin belonging to the Tulip Trust Limited were stolen. These assets were and continue to be owned by the Tulip Trust Limited. The theft is the subject of an ongoing investigation by the Cybercrime Division of the South East England Regional Organised Crime Unit. As set out in the letters before action issued today, the Tulip Trust Limited is requesting that the developers enable Tulip Trust Limited to regain access to and control of its Bitcoin on the grounds that they owe Bitcoin owners both tortious and fiduciary duties under English law as a result of the high level of power and control they hold over their respective blockchains. The value of the claim, as at today's market rates, will be in excess of £3.5 billion, which is more than $4 billion. So Paul Ferguson, partner at Ontario LLP, commented, "Our client always intended Bitcoin to operate within existing laws, notwithstanding the original ethos of independence he evangelized for the digital currency. We assert there are identifiable legal obligations attributed to those who develop and control Bitcoin. As a victim of theft of some serious magnitude, Tulip Trading is seeking recovery of its access and control of its digital assets from those in a position to remedy its loss. The fact that someone has stolen the Tulip Trading's digitally held private Bitcoin keys does not prevent developers from deploying code to enable the rightful owner to regain control of its Bitcoin. A ruling in Tulip Trading's favour will have considerable implications for others who have lost access to their Bitcoin or had coins stolen." It's going to be massive. Ontario has an established and growing practice for recovering stolen and hacked Bitcoin. Its partners, Paul Ferguson, Derek Stisson, and Oliver Kane, are advising Tulip Trust Limited and instructed John Walden QC and Bobby Friedman of Wilberforce Chambers as counsel on this matter. Right, I just got a note editor. The litigation is the latest in the series of legal claims issued by Ontario LLP on behalf of Dr. Wright and his associated entities to uphold his right to protect not only his lawful held digital assets, but also his reputation as the creator of Bitcoin and his associated intellectual property. The firm is well known for its high-profile Bitcoin-related litigation and is highly regarded dispute resolution team. Its work is almost exclusively international and multi-jurisdictional in nature, focused on complex, high-value international litigation, insolvency matters, and arbitration in a wide range of financial and industry sectors. Ontario is recognised in the UK Legal 500 for commercial litigation, international arbitration, and civil fraud. Ontario has acted in a number of high-profile international disputes, including Lucasfilm Limited versus Ashworth, known as the Star Wars Stormtrooper litigation, upheld in the UK Supreme Court. The firm was also involved in the Masari litigation and a case against the Nigerian state, which resulted in a $6.5 billion arbitral reward process and industrial development versus NNPC. The firm has offices in 18 cities, 14 countries, providing clients with a truly international capacity. Wow, yeah, it's gonna be massive, people. That'll do for today. Catch you guys later. Get your tweet etched on Twitch, forever on the Bitcoin blockchain. Do it today at www.jointwitch.com. BuyBSV.live, the best place to buy Bitcoin SV online. Support independent content creators on Streamality. It's you that should profit from your data, not the large corporations who sell it. If you enjoy these Bitcoin news flashes that I do, please go to www.satoshi.tv where you can keep up to date with the content as it's created.